One of my other least favorite questions is, did you get your paperwork done? Why do we not know that? Why have we not paid attention to whether Miss Susan did her paperwork or did not do her paperwork? Now, if we sent the link and Miss Susan did not do her paperwork, we can say, oh, I was just wondering, did you have any problems with that link? I noticed that the paperwork didn't get done. I just want to make sure that link came through to you. Yeah, I got it. I just didn't have time. Hey, that's no problem. And then we can kind of move on because we do want to ensure, did she not get the text message? If there's some kind of issue there, we need to be able to check that and correct that cell phone number or whatever we have set up. But we should never be asking the question, did you do your paperwork? That's awkward too.
That's enough, because for me, I have done the paperwork, which tells me, did you not get it? Like, I spent all that time. Why did I do that? And so the accuracy of the paperwork as well. So this is where I'm talking about details for customer service. If I'm coming in as a new patient and you've sent me nothing, and now you're asking me, did you do your paperwork? And now I'm like, I didn't get any paperwork. You should have gotten paperwork. Man, that for me right there, I'm almost about to walk out, because don't accuse me. Don't make me the guilty party. Even if, let's say I didn't get the link and I forgot. Well, now you're still trying to make me feel dumb. Don't do that to your customers, right?
Yeah.
And, or yeah, we saw that you didn't do your paperwork. So it's going to take 10 more minutes or 15 more minutes or however long it takes you to do your paperwork. I sure hope we can see all your kids today. Would you stay, right? And nobody wants to be berated to an appointment that they're already most likely not looking forward to coming to. So just being mindful of those details. And again, the point is, if you don't even know the details, you don't know if they've done paperwork, you don't know if they received paperwork, you don't know. I think that's what we're talking about, customer service. Because to me, yes, I could walk in the door and you could be like, hey, how are you? And good to see you. Did you do your paperwork? All of that friendliness, to me, I'm like, you are wasting my time. And that to me is not customer service. That would be like me going to McDonald's and having to repeat my order 4 times versus me going to Chick-fil-A and it's like, they're like, here you go, here's your order, right? Like, those are the places that are costing a little bit more, but I'm going to have a better experience because they're prepared. Me coming in and you greeting me nicely, but you've not done anything to make my life easier beyond that initial hello. So that's where the details really need to matter. It is not easy, but it is something that is absolutely doable and needs to be done.
And I think it also shows when we can say something like, oh, I noticed that you didn't get your paperwork. I wanted to make sure that came through. Or, hey, thank you so much for filling out your paperwork. It lets the patient know that we're prepared for them, and then sets the tone for when they go back and they sit down in that clinic seat. They have that first interpretation of, they were prepared. They were ready for me. They greeted me by name. They knew my paperwork was done. All the other things can even go away, but it looks like we've actually prepared for them. When they sit down in that seat, they're now thinking, this assistant has prepared, this doctor has prepared. So I know it's annoying. I get how annoying it is for patients to show up and their paperwork is not done. As a matter of fact, I would say it's probably one of the top 5 complaints that business receptionists have with patients. They're immediately annoyed. And I get it. You've gone to all the work to send out the link. You've reminded them to fill out the paperwork. They've showed up directly on time for their appointment. And now our sweet Sally at the front is like, the hygienist is going to be so mad at me because this patient is not able to be seated on time because the paperwork wasn't done. I get it. It's totally and completely annoying. And I wish patients would do it, but we don't have very much control over that. So if they walk in and have not done their paperwork, if we show annoyance in our voice and in our face, yes, we're able to get a little bit of that out, and we feel better that we were able to kind of ride the patient for that. But now we have done a disservice to our clinical team. So clinical team members, if every time a patient shows up on time and they haven't done their paperwork, and you give sweet Sally at the front lip about, did you not remind them to do the paperwork? Why didn't you remind them again? What you're creating is a rock and a hard place for sweet Sally, because what she needs to do is she needs to be able to greet that patient warmly and get them nice and warmed up so that that patient arrives happy in your seat. But she's so worried about you yelling at her for not getting the paperwork that now she's treating the patient poorly. And now that patient's sitting down in your chair and they're annoyed and you've got an upset patient. So please, we're all frustrated when patients don't show up with their paperwork, but please don't put that on Sweet Sally at the front. That is most of the time not her fault.
Well, I'm going to take it even a step further. Why are you annoyed? It's not a one-off. Probably 50% of your patients every day.
Yeah.
We know it's going to happen. It's part of what we do. Yeah. It is just going to happen. Like, it's like when you live in the city. Oh gosh, there's traffic today. Yeah, I live in downtown Dallas. There's going to be traffic. So if I'm not anticipating that there's going to be traffic and now I'm upset about it, who's the one who's not prepared? That's like my own mental hiccup I've created for myself to raise my own blood pressure. It should be the opposite. Oh my gosh, there's no traffic today. Oh my gosh, you did your paperwork? That's hallelujah, right? Like, set yourself up for success.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you surprised and upset? It's not an odd occurrence. It's a lot of people don't do their paperwork. So that should be like 50-50. They did it or they didn't. And if they didn't, then now we're going to have to spend some time on it. That is not the hill you need to be losing your cookies on, right? Like, pull it together, because it's so important not to make that patient feel dumb, bad, guilted, because that is going to set the tone for everything else.